Good question, good question. We have indeed both players in here who have already played a game today, Lennli and Flyme. And as you said, Lennli, he just has this momentum, getting close to the 60% win rate, with an average guess time of 34 seconds. Yeah, very standard guessing time. But all you need to do is being correct, whereas Flyme is a little bit slower on the pace. So I don't know. Do you want to put the pressure on and play against that? If you go into a game knowing that your opponent is taking it a little bit slow, do you want to play against that, or do you stick with your standard play style? That's definitely something you have to consider as a player here. But yeah, Flyme just came out of a game. The mental will definitely play a part as well here, getting right into the next one. And could also be an advantage for Lennli.
Yeah, you mentioned if Flyme can switch up his playstyle, but I don't really see that happening, because you have to imagine Flyme is not really in the most confident state right now. I mean, he is not looking quite good on the table there, and it's very hard for him to make instant guesses. I don't think he's the person to really pull that off, and I don't think Lennli will see himself pressured by that, because Lennli can also, you know, play fast. He doesn't need a lot of time.
Yep, definitely. I don't know if you maybe got me wrong, because I said Lennli would more likely be the person to insta-send here, to put the
just
pressure
another fault.
on
I don't
Flyme.
think Flyme will insta-send, but
yeah,
just covering that.
Yep,
Okay.
You also covered it the other way around. As we indeed see a pretty fast plunk from Lennli before he got to any information.
Yeah,
or did he get anything on his screen? I didn't see it, at least.
Landscape is all he needs.
But we have some wineries, mountains, the southern vibes of France. So, passing around Montpellier is always a good hedge to cover the eastern and western side of it.
Yep, love the pronunciation there.
Thank you.
Also didn't want to say that town. Like some other towns, like Toulouse. You know, I could say those, but sometimes I'm not really sure how to pronounce the other cities.
Usually I'm careful with it, but sometimes I give it a cheeky try, you know. I'm always happy to be corrected, though.
Yeah.
As we go over to this Ukraine round, we have, again, this reddish road. You also see in Sweden a lot. It's definitely another country where you get the red tint. But also a red car. Both combined will give you the country, and from then on you can use terrain. If it's hilly, you are more likely to be in the west. If it's piney, with a lot of pines along the road, you are more likely to be in the north. Then you have some car clues, the white car in Odessa, the black car in
Donetsk.
Donetsk, not Dnipro. It is Donetsk, the Donetsk in Ukraine.
And Donetsk would have been closer than their guesses, really. It is Kharkiv.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I covered all the areas where you have clues, but that's an area where you don't really have a clue for, usually. Or not easy clues, at least. Kind of hard to get the eastern part sometimes.
Yeah.
And we are in Spain now. Looks like we have some Spanish language on that sign.
And it does say Castilla-La Mancha. And it says Cuenca Madrid.
Cuenca Madrid as well. We have the A40 accessible from here. And the N400, which is a red road. Usually those are findable very quick. So if you look, Cuenca
is pretty big.
And Madrid. So are we between them, or can we access both Cuenca and Madrid from taking that road?
I'm not really sure.
Because the way it's written there, it looks like we are between it, but that would be kind of useless information, no?
Well, I guess. I mean, we're in Castilla-La Mancha, and Lennli is on the northernmost part of it, and we are just downtown Cuenca, yes.
Yeah, we are indeed between it.
Between it, but very close to the city itself.
Yeah, very, very close to it. Makes sense after all. And we are in round 4. We have those political Edwards there. Brazilian pole with the letters on it.
But what a round this is.
It is indeed. I thought we are somewhere Mato Grosso initially, but we have the striped car as well, which you only get in a couple states. Now I'm thinking more northeastern, but why is it so flat?
Questions after questions, really, here.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed vibes on this round, definitely. Around where you are happy to be able to move around as the players do. I must say they play it kind of slow.
Yeah,
to really obtain all the information they have rather than get out of the city.
Lennli found the town entrance, which is very good because you could find the phone code. I don't think you were just in time.
Yeah, definitely. Something you want to do in Brazil is go along those buildings and hope for that sweet area code. So I would assume we had a 69 area code for Rondonia.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but both of them ended up in Rondonia, but Lennli still ending up losing 2k points there.
Indeed, and we are in Japan now, and both players, of course, take the first look on the pole before looking at anything else. It looks like we have the northern type of poles.
I'm not very sure because the plates don't look northern at all.
No.
Because it's not a long plate like you would say in Hokkaido, but now we have very good information. Hazaki.
The transformers aren't... Flyme is going pretty far south.
He is scanning.
I don't think we are in Kyushu here. Right?
I'm not sure. There is a phone code on the sign, but Lennli is looking at the plates instead.
Yeah, the plates are weird, and he's also confused about them, which I do understand. But in Kyushu, you would have the transformers on 180 degrees usually, which we didn't have on the location. Yeah.
Pooh. And will that be enough to take down the game? It is just a one shot. So far, it was pretty good by Flyme, and as you said, he kind of lacks consistency sometimes, and there it shows. I feel like some of the plates were, you know, the metal plates, but it was very hard to see. But I think there was a phone code on Lennli's sign, so he might have used that one as well. It's sometimes hard to see what the players look exactly because they have peripheral vision, so they just look at it.
Definitely. It's way easier if you're like leaned back and just obtain stuff. And for the players, they are under pressure. They don't know, should I look at this pole? Is there maybe a sign around? Do I fast move out of this? Do I stay here? It's a lot of thoughts they have. Because we can just look at one thing, and if it's not the right thing to look at, then it's whatever. We are not playing anyway.
True.
But yeah, it's definitely not that easy from a player's perspective. I can speak of experience there. Very standard France round without many clues. You guess around Paris, always a good guess. If you don't get too much of the southern vibes with the big mountains, which you would get along the south or southeast.
Not the easiest country to region guess after all, is it?
Nope, not really. Moving on to this. I am not sure what we are looking at here.
We have like a blackish car. We have a wooden pole and also like a trident pole. So my first idea was Peru.
Peru is
could
the
be Mexico
standard,
as well,
yes.
but I don't think Mexico uses these trident poles there.
Also, the green hill does look more Peruvian than Mexican. Yeah, well, I guess Peru does make more sense, especially with the sun north, which you usually don't really need. But it's always good to confirm, I guess. And again, we have talked about it multiple times this stream. If you have this green landscape and you are in a rural environment, you consider more of the north. But you can also just line up the valley as Lennli did, getting very, very close there on round 2, getting Flyme below 4k health already.
I did not see that coming, to be fair. 7 kilometers in that location is quite wild. And we go into a very interesting location. This almost looks like Burgos in Spain, like north of Madrid, but I am not really sure.
We have a Zaragoza, yes, which is interesting because usually it's way more flat around there. But you can definitely have some hills around, definitely covering a couple areas, and it was indeed a bit further north where you start getting a bit more elevation. But it could have been also a bit further south of Lennli Spin, so I think it's a smart thing to always just hedge it out and cover everything, especially if you are in a lead.
Yeah, I mean, this game is looking quite clean by him. Took game 1 pretty convincingly, and now he's off to a pretty hefty start here. Already 4k points up against Flyme. It's going to be hard for him.
Those are the 2 standard guesses you usually see on a mountainous Oman round. There's a mountain ridge going all the way to the UAE along the whole span of the north in Oman, so pretty hard to make a guess based on the terrain. But at least you know you are in the north usually, especially if the direction of the mountain range goes from east to west, or north, or northwest to southeast-ish.
And we're back with the yellow, with red car here.
And we have red car again, and again I would say we are more likely to be in Sweden. But this time I don't get the far southern vibes.
I think still
or
southern half.
At least there's a possibility. Yep.
It is very far south again, and that is enough.
That is actually
just very barely enough, and then they put the glasses on. I mean, very quick work for him.
New glasses, new cap, and it's matching as well. Red glasses and red on the cap.
Zeppelin Rental. Okay, don't know what that is, but looks cool.
Shout out to Zeppelin Rental, and shout out to Lennli.